The Best Mistake My Boss Ever Made, Part 1, The Invisible Architect. I spent 5 years at Stratton & Associates. While Marcus, the principal architect, spent his days golfing with city council members, I lived in the basement, the nickname for the structural engineering wing. I wasn't just an employee. I was the guy who stayed until 9 p.m., ensuring the load-bearing calculations were perfect. My crowning achievement was a custom script I'd written, a piece of code I called the Sentinel. It could run 10,000 stress test simulations on a skyscraper design in under 4 minutes. When the senior associate position opened up, it was mine. Every metric, billable hours, client retention, project accuracy, said so. But on Monday morning, Marcus called me into his glass-walled office. "We're going in a different direction, Elias. We need visionaries. You're more of a tactical guy. In fact, looking at your recent billable hours, we're putting you on a performance improvement plan, PIP." He gave the promotion to his nephew, Tyler, a kid who thought AutoCAD was a brand of car and spent most of his day looking for the save button. The PIP was a death sentence, a legal paper trail designed to fire me without paying severance once the Southwest Transit Hub project was finalized. Part 2, The Poison Pill. I didn't get mad, I got mathematical. I realized Marcus had made a fatal error in his arrogance. He assumed the Sentinel belonged to the firm. However, I had developed the core logic for that algorithm during my sabbatical a year prior. Using my own private server and a distinct LLC, I'd registered for freelance consulting. I spent the next 3 weeks playing the perfect employee while setting my trap. 1. The licensing audit. I quietly moved the algorithm's hosting from the office intranet to a secure cloud server under my name. I left a dummy interface on the company computers that looked identical, but relied on my external API to function. 2. The paper trail. I began CCing my personal email on every instance where Marcus or Tyler signed their names to blueprints they hadn't actually reviewed, a massive violation of engineering ethics. 3. The resignation. The day the final designs for the $40 million transit hub were due to the city, I walked into Marcus's office. I didn't wait to be fired. I handed him a physical folder and said, "I'm done." Marcus laughed, leaning back in his Italian leather chair. "Good luck, Elias. With a PIP on your record, you'll be lucky to design doghouses." Part 3, The Collapse. The revenge began to taste like copper exactly 72 hours later. Without my API key, the Sentinel went dark. When Tyler tried to run the final structural safety checks for the city inspectors, the screen simply read, "Unauthorized access, license expired." Marcus called me, screaming. He threatened to sue me into the Stone Age. I calmly directed him to paragraph 12 of my original offer letter, which I had personally edited years ago to exclude pre-existing intellectual property. The high. I watched from a beach in Mexico as the city pulled the transit hub contract. Stratton & Associates was hit with a $5 million failure to deliver penalty. The low. A week later, I got a text from Sarah, a junior drafter and single mom I'd mentored. "Elias, they're laying off the entire engineering wing. The firm is bankrupt. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent." The revenge didn't feel like a victory. It felt like a house fire I had started while standing in the living room. I had destroyed the villain, but I had also burned down the village. Part 4, The Long Game. I didn't stay on that beach. I used the small savings I had and the Sentinel algorithm to start Vertex Structures. I didn't go after Marcus's clients with spite. I went after them with efficiency. Within 8 months, Vertex had secured the very transit hub contract Marcus had lost. But I did something different. I hired every single person Marcus had laid off. I gave them 20% raises and equity in the new company. By 2025, Stratton & Associates was a hollow shell. Marcus had lost his house, his car, and his reputation. One rainy Tuesday, I saw him standing outside a construction site I was managing. He wasn't there to yell. He was there to look for work. I invited him to a coffee shop. He looked like a ghost. He expected me to gloat, to humiliate him, or to serve him more legal papers. Instead, I handed him a contract. I'm buying the remaining assets of your firm, mostly the name and the local permits, and I'm hiring you as a site inspector. You'll report to Sarah, the woman you fired 3 years ago. If you're enjoying this story, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss another one. Part 5, The Life Lesson. Marcus took the job. It was the hardest thing he'd ever done, working for the man he tried to ruin and the woman he'd discarded. But over the next year, something strange happened. Without the pressure of pretending to be a visionary, Marcus actually became a decent inspector. He found a strange peace in the tactical work he once looked down upon. The lesson: revenge is a natural human instinct, but it's a low-level frequency. If I had stopped at just ruining Marcus, I would have been just as small as he was. Integrity is a weapon. If I hadn't been meticulous with my IP and my ethics, I would have lost the legal battle. Power is responsibility. When you win, you have a responsibility to the people caught in the crossfire. Forgiveness is logistics. I didn't forgive Marcus because I'm a saint. I forgave him because holding a grudge is an expensive waste of mental energy. Living well is the best revenge, but turning your enemy into a productive member of your team, that's a legacy.